Hello, my friends. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. This channel, of course, we're going to focus a lot on Donald Trump's destruction of the economy because, well, that matters to me as a member of the working class. Anytime Donald Trump does something stupid and it affects me negatively, it causes a reaction in my brain that makes me want to speak up. So we're going to talk more today about Donald Trump's attempts to wreck the United States economy. If we're lucky, if that's the only world economy he wrecks in the process, we'll see. He's very destructive, you see, so there might be other things to that. So we've got more stuff that Donald Trump is screwing up that is making the life of the average American harder every day, and I just don't understand how we got here. You guys remember the last time Donald Trump was president and he lied about a pandemic and got 1 million Americans killed and millions more laid off from their jobs, completely screwed up the supply chain, amongst other things that happened because of Donald Trump's incompetence. And then he runs for president again and we get a bunch of fucking hillbillies saying, yeehaw, we need Donald Trump back in to fix the economy. I don't know what they're fucking talking about. I gotta be honest with you. So we're gonna talk about that today. Real quick before we do that, make sure you check out the pinned comment for me. We've got a link down there to a protest going on in Washington, D.C. on March 14th. If you're able to get out there and make your voice heard, now's the time in America to do it. And look, I get it. I'm a working man too. I can't always make a trip over to DC and join a protest. But hey, give me time, baby. I'll be out there. Don't worry. Don't worry about me. We also have a link to the Discord if you want to join our community over there. Ever-growing community. Make new friends. Now's the time to do it. And I drop in there sometimes and see everybody making new friends. And I think that's fantastic. That's awesome. So join that. Link to my Blue Sky if you want to follow me there. And last but not least, a link to channel membership that are only $1.99 a month that help support the channel, because I frequently get in trouble here on YouTube for running my fucking mouth a little too much, and you know, it just helps to support the channel. One more thing we got to celebrate real quick. I'm not going to make a huge deal out of it, but we passed 30,000 subscribers on this channel sometime last night. My elderly ass was passed out in the bed when it happened, but sometime last night we passed our first 30,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I didn't know like 3 months ago when I started this channel that like anybody was gonna watch, so that's fucking insane. Thank you guys for that. Let's get into the bullshit with Donald Trump. We got a whole list of things he's done since he's come into office. You guys know me, I don't write shit down. I just kind of hope that I remember shit, so I'm going to forget some stuff that's going on here. But let's talk about the destructive things Donald Trump has done to America's economy since he's come into office. And real quick, I want to note, a lot of people tell me in the comments, hey, he does this on purpose so he can tank the stock market and his rich friends can buy when the stocks are low, and then he pulls back the tariffs and the stock market goes back up, and it's also they can make millions of dollars in a couple days. And I 100% agree with that. I believe you when you tell me that. But the things Donald Trump has done since he's come into office, mass deportations. Well, unfortunately, like it or don't, America is reliant on cheap migrant labor to keep our prices low. Look, I understand why you might have a problem with that, why you might think that's a negative thing, but that is one of the very things America does that keeps our prices low. So mass deportations was the first thing. That's obviously going to affect agriculture, our food cost. That's going to affect construction, our housing cost. And there's a list of other things, but those are the two big industries I can think of right off the top. So immediately Donald Trump raised your food prices and raised your housing cost right away, which is a weird fucking thing to do for a guy that said groceries. It's a beautiful word. No one ever says the word groceries until I started saying it, and I'm going to lower the price of groceries, which is a weird fucking thing to say. We've been saying it, you know, us from the trailer park, Donald Trump, we're familiar with worrying about groceries. We understand. Just because you just learned about it doesn't mean we don't get it. You know, the real Americans out here, Donald, the guys at the fucking bottom just trying to do it. But also raised housing cost, which housing in America is fucked. You guys probably understand it more than I do, but so much of the housing in America is owned by billionaire investors who jack up the prices either through rent or by throwing a coat of paint on the fucking thing and then marking it up another $100 grand. Housing market's a complete fucking shit show. On top of that, now we can't build the fucking things because we have effectively either deported or scared off a huge part of that workforce. Huge fuck up on Donald Trump's part. What else has Donald Trump done to fuck up the economy since he has come into office? Obviously, we've got the tariffs. Oh, here's the one I really want to get into. He ripped off his own fucking supporters. 2 days before going into office, he released the Donald Trump meme coin. That thing is absolutely fucking tanking still. Some days it'll have some good days where it goes up again, but for the most part, it's a piece of shit. I don't know what name the internet calls him, but Coffeezilla, Voidzilla, he did a video on it, I think last week. He covers a lot of these crypto scams. And then his video last week showed that at the current price that the Trump coin was at last week, which has dropped significantly since then, but last week you would have had to have bought within the first 2 hours of that meme coin going live for you to still be profitable. The first 2 hours. And this thing came out, what, close to 2 months ago now. You know who specifically that screws? Trump supporters that have jobs. Do you know why? Because a lot of times we're slow on getting the news because we're fucking working. So a guy is at work, he's doing his fucking job, which Donald Trump knows nothing about. He makes it home 4 or 5 hours later after this meme coin releases, and he goes, oh God, Donald Trump's got a meme coin out, we're all gonna get rich. And he bought the fucking thing, and he's already lost money on that. Donald Trump ripped off millions of Americans with a fucking meme coin. Can you believe it? Can you believe that's the fucking world we live in? Our president openly steals money from the American citizens. I remember when I first talked about that meme coin, a Trump supporter tried to convince me they were up $1 million on it. Unless you got in that first 2 hours, no. I mean, look, the graph exists. The chart's there. It exists. Bullshit. That's the answer to that. But you know, it's nothing new to me to get bullshitted by a Trump supporter. That's kind of how this fucking works at this point. And obviously we've got more issues with the farming, right? This is our food supply. Now, Donald Trump is intentionally, it is 100% my opinion that he is intentionally bankrupting America's farmers at this point. It makes sense because J.D. Vance is, I believe, a part owner of an app called Acre Trader, which helps millionaires and billionaires buy up people's land for cheap. Why would J.D. Vance be interested in America's farmers going bankrupt? There's a conflict of interest here. But through Donald Trump's actions, through Doge's actions, and probably with the endorsement of J.D. Vance because of his Acre Trader app, they have cut off so much funding to America's farmers. The USAID thing, where they're having trouble now selling their shit to other countries because USAID is shut down. USDA, my understanding of this, I'm not a farmer, correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is it's pretty common for America's farmers to pull a loan at the beginning of the season, planting season or whatever. They pull this loan so that they can buy the seeds, the equipment, whatever it is they need to plant a field this year. And then when they go to harvest the field, they go and sell off all their product that they grew, and then they use the money to pay back the loan, and then whatever's left from that is profit. And there is a guy, I wish I remembered his name. He's a black farmer. He's got like a black farmer sort of, I don't want to say organization, but sort of, you get the point. But he was talking about how they're not able to get these loans to even plant their seeds now. And we're fucking over America's farmers. Can you believe it? I can absolutely believe it. Just an outright attack on groceries. Remember? The big, beautiful word that we've never heard before. Donald Trump uttered it from his angelic mouth. Fucking groceries. Right. It's a direct attack on that. And obviously, the biggest thing happening here is these stupid fucking trade wars. Nothing about this makes any fucking sense unless you go back in the video where I discussed earlier that this is done intentionally to manipulate the stock market. That is the only fucking reason any of this makes sense. And look, it's weird. It's weird to be an American. And look, I understand we've kind of had propaganda drilled into our brains our whole lives about American exceptionalism or elitism or whatever it is. You know, America, the greatest country in the world. But it is weird to actually, like, it's not that I necessarily believe that, but it's weird to watch that actually crumble right in front of you and you go, fuck, we're a country full of dipshits, aren't we? We are really fucking up here. As far as Mexico goes, look, border security, obviously an issue. And there was a border bill that was supposed to be passed under Joe Biden's administration, bipartisan border bill written by a Republican, as far as I know, that Donald Trump had killed in either Congress or Senate because it hurt his chances in the election if he didn't get to run on the border. Border security is obviously a thing we should be concerned with. Look, countries have borders. I get it. I understand it. I don't know where the fucking right gets this idea that a Democrat ever said we want open borders at all times and send us your violent criminals or whatever it is they say that we say. We've never fucking said that. But there are hints here and there, and I'm trying to get more information on it. You guys might know more than I do on this also, but it seems like every once in a while, America, meaning Donald Trump, might be planning some sort of invasion on Mexico. I know that sounds fucking crazy, but look, they want to designate the cartels as terrorist organizations, which on the surface, that sounds okay. Yeah, cartels sell drugs and there's violence and everything that goes along with it. But I believe my understanding, designating them as a terrorist organization means we can strike in their country. And there's other things that lead me to believe that maybe America is planning an attack on Mexico. Look, I'm just saying that there's small things out there that would lead you to believe that. And we've spent all our time, this dude's about to fucking wreck my truck right now. This is crazy how close he is. This dude's like right the fuck up on my truck, backing in next to me. This is so strange. Anyways, the fuck was I trying to say? I thought my truck was about to get smashed up right here. There's just things there that would lead me to believe that. And we as Americans have spent all my life at least like vilifying Mexico for some fucking reason. There's just some weird shit going on with Mexico. Look, we'll keep an eye on it, all right? We'll keep an eye on that. With Canada, none of this makes fucking sense. And I gotta send out a huge thank you to all my new Canadian friends. I've made a lot of new Canadian friends, which is fantastic because I got a feeling Canadians are probably gonna carry my ass through Donald Trump's upcoming depression when Canadian ad revenue on YouTube becomes fucking gold after Donald Trump crashes our fucking economy and nobody's paying to advertise here. It's gonna be the Canadians that save my ass. So Canadians, tell all your friends, tell all your family, watch this weird ass American stand in his truck and talk about what a shithead Donald Trump is. I need you. It's kind of like sponsoring an American after America turns into a third world country, which is happening pretty soon. So thank you, Canada. I'm gonna have to learn your anthem or something. I'll sing it for you one day. I'm gonna have to. I owe it to you at this point. Well, I owe it to you when we survive, when we come out the other side. But none of this about Canada makes any fucking sense. Right? Donald Trump keeps doing this and he keeps saying fentanyl over and over. And then he also says that we're just getting a bad deal from Canada. We're getting a bad deal. And he doesn't make any fucking sense. But I think that Canada's going to do very well, honestly. I think that. Look, I'm not an economist. I'm a fucking truck driver. But Canada has a lot of fucking resources in their country. I think Canada's probably already looking at establishing other trade partners. Look, we don't need you, America. As much as Donald Trump says we don't need their lumber, we don't need their oil, we don't need all the things, then why the fuck do we import it, dipshit? I mean, come on now. This is simple to figure the fuck out. But anyways, I think Canada will just establish other trading partners. Canadians have stopped buying our products in Canada. They said, fuck you, Americans. We aren't going to help you out at all. And as last I knew, kept their tariffs in place until Donald Trump figures out what the fuck he's doing for good. And the point with that is, I think that too many Americans believe that we're untouchable. That believe that our economy could never fail, which is weird because we've seen it. we've seen it over and over. Maybe not to the scale we're about to see it, but we're about to get real fucked. And maybe you guys might be asking, why do you smile and laugh and shit in your videos when you're talking about the fucking end times? Well, I've always been a poor person. I know how to be poor. I'll be fine. I'm working on stuff, you know, at the house to fucking try to survive this shit. You know, I've been a poor person my whole life. It doesn't scare me. As a matter of fact, you know, you start going, well, as long as I don't have any hope for shit getting better, kind of less stressful life at that point. I don't have to worry about shit getting better around here. I don't need to worry about mortgages and shit like that. I'll just fucking live like a poor person, and that's fine with me. But I think that we're going to take a major hit from Canada. The point of this video is the bullshit that Donald Trump ran on about how he was going to fix the economy, and how he was going to make America more affordable again. Everything about this is bad. The jobs reports are bad. Inflation is going up. The projected GDP is, I'm gonna fuck up the word. It's not the right word, but retracting. It's a word similar to retracting. The projected future predicted GDP is shrinking into negative numbers, which shouldn't be happening. And everything about this is fucking bad. And unless Donald Trump very quickly figures out what the fuck he's doing, which I'm not holding out a lot of hope for, Americans are going to suffer greatly because of his, I would say, dumb decisions, but I think they're more evil, the more nefarious decisions made specifically to benefit people that are already rich, and we are going to pay the cost for that. In the event we survive, we all pull through it. Doesn't that suck? Like, we literally face the reality of being homeless, or being out of a job, or just straight up not pulling through this because we are being sold out to the billionaire class in America. And that's something that's fucking wonderful. But in the event we pull through, in the event we survive, hopefully America learns something from this, as the world's greatest con man has been elected twice now. And maybe we do something good for once, and we elect the right fucking people that want to actually do good for Americans instead of doing good for themselves and their rich friends. That's where we're at. Anyways, I'm starving, and while fast food restaurants still exist, while I could still afford one, I'm gonna go in there and get me some, I don't know, some fast food, because it may be my last days of being able to do that. All right, bye guys, I love you. Bye now. I said it wrong. I love you guys. Bye now.